with this, we move on to our next education leader, who is Vice Chancellor Galgotias University. Thank you very much, Dr. Preeti, for joining us. My name is Sudhir Gautam. Ma'am, we would like to have your view and your perception, the leadership talk. Just to give a brief, we had an amazing opening ceremony this morning with a keynote address by Mr. Naveen Mittal, College Commissioner and Secretary for Collegiate Education, Government of Telangana. At the same time, Mr. Kunal Silku from the state of Uttar Pradesh, and also Mr. Colonel Venkatesh, representing All India Council of Technical Education, and also from the state of Andhra Pradesh, we had Mr. Professor Mohan, and we had leadership talks. Now we would like to hear you about the modernizing to a digital first institution. Over to you, ma'am.
Thank you, Sudhir. Thank you so much for inviting me to be here. I would like to start from, 18th of March. I still remember 2020. So it's like the day 15th, 16th March, we realized that there is going to be the lockdown, or the kind of situation in the country is leading to. So immediately we started. We were the first in the I think the Uttar Pradesh, wherein we have immediately started the training of our teachers. I strongly believe in train the trainers. So when we say digitally first, so we claim that we were the first to start with training of our teachers on Zoom that time, and then LMS with Blue Button. I still remember wherein we have done lot of trials, and we were the first to start with this training. And 18th March or 17th March we went online. All our 100 plus programs, undergraduate, postgraduate, all programs were delivered. Even PhD programs were in the preliminary stage, because in the month of January we have done admissions, and then immediately the coursework was ongoing, and we started even PhD coursework online. So that's how our journey. So the GU, Galgotias University, is always known for it's one of the very modern and digitally driven university. So apart from that, it's not, and we were appraised by Uttar Pradesh government, and by sending our case study was shared with all 70 plus universities in the country as well, and in the state. We have also been amongst top first few who have gotten this e-learning excellence by QS IGATE, its iLead certification. Not only that, this year for 2020, our faculties have uploaded the e-content on the Uttar Pradesh government's official portal. For uploading highest e-content, we have been given, we were the first amongst all private universities, and third amongst all kind of universities in the state of Uttar Pradesh, for which Honorable Deputy CM have issued the official gazette and certificate as well, in the praising the efforts of Galgotia University's faculties. In addition to that, we started with our own YouTube channel, wherein the faculties have developed wonderful videos. So the best part was we designed our mandates, we came out with our SOPs, and we started designing and developing the e-content as well. In addition to that, the LMS is being used since inception of the institute. So most of our practicals, virtual lab. So university is a center of virtual lab. So we have an extended center from IIT Delhi, and the most of the practicals are being used for the core and otherwise also on virtual lab. The LMS, most of the practicals, so whether it is case study, whether it is program-based, project-based learning, it is a blended learning that was part of our teaching learning process since long. The SWAYAM, we have been already, we were listed amongst top 100 chapters in the country. So we are the one who have developed. So the time required, there has to be a credit transfer. We have seen the recently released blended learning document from UGC. The AICT was talking since long for credit transfer policy. So we already have credit transfer policy in place for SWAYAM and NPTEL grade for last few years. The students are taking, in fact, it is mandatory for students to take up, from NPTEL as well. So what I want to say is that digitally driven, that component, when we say we are digitally driven, so it reflects in everything. It reflects from our all five wings, wherein we start with the admission, administration, examination, teaching, learning, assessment, placement, everywhere. It was all digitally driven. Uh, the faculties were trained. As I said, I believe in train the trainers. So faculties were trained. 300 plus faculties were trained on artificial intelligence during lockdown. So all conclave. We have done the conferences, more than 10 index conferences. We have done the summit on artificial intelligence, summit on NEP, the training on NEP, CBCS, outcome-based education, lot of things. So training, the teachers training, students training, internships, placements, placement assessments, final placement, wherein during lockdown as well. With that, this support system in place, we have given 3,000 plus placement during lockdown as well. So it's like I would say, when we talk about modern teaching learning, modern campuses with digitally driven, what it has to be. So we talk about CBCS, whether it is blended learning document, whether it is NEP, whether it is any modern university in the world. We talked about CBCS, we talked about integration, we talked about online governance, we talked about digital governance, everything to be online. We talked about learners' freedom. So we talked about disruptive technology, wherein it can be disruptive technology, it is artificial intelligence, IoT, data science, everything was, that is available in the university, which is truly digitally driven. So integration of technology we talked about, and everybody, I strongly believe, if we my favorite quote which I always give in every talk would be, and that is, not only train the trainers, but learn, unlearn, and relearn. So this time has given us, when one has to be digitally driven, when we talk about, then it has to be learning would be every day. We realize it's not about connecting the five modules or to be available online all the time, but we realize the very first thing it has to be online is grievance system, the counseling. So we started with that as well, and that too last March. So immediately the forms and everything was online. The students were told that it was shared on LMS, it was shared on our ERP, and then immediately online grievance. My dashboard shows how many grievances are there. I won't say there won't be grievances. The universities, everybody, everywhere, there will be issues. But how you are resolving it day on day basis, how you are monitoring it, and then it is you ensure that every student, no student is deprived of the examination. No, whether it is in he or she is in India, abroad, or Jammu, or any other part of the country wherein there would be some challenges. I ensure, so the support system for grievances, support system for every kind of and every where we ensured. So when we talk about digitally driven, I look at what are the modern practices. So it would be, are we following those modern practices? What kind of governance has to be in the institution? What kind of IT support system is in the university? Because until and unless you are IT equipped university. So today, and the fourth one, which is very, very important, is all about data. Today, very important is your data is in your hand. It is very, very important that you are monitoring the complete university with having dashboard on your which is available. It's talk about collaboration, it talks about research, and that all we tried to do in the frame, and not only tried, but we excel in the same. So that's it all about. And I believe every day is a learning day. So very recent documents, every day new document is coming from the government, because last year was full of experiment, and now it is time for taking policies. So a lot of
Absolutely.
policies are coming up, action, that items are there, which we have already complied, but still everything is left. We are trying to do. That's it about Galgotias. Thank you.
Absolutely. Wonderful knowing the initiatives taken by Galgotias universities, ma'am. You have started the COVID pandemic struck us in March 2020. I'm glad to know Galgotias universities introduced its Zoom, the classes and all right in the March. That shows the far-sighted visionary approach of your university, and I'm glad you're driving it. It's been an absolute pleasure hearing you, and the way the vision of Galgotias University has towards the modern education. With this, we would like to thank you, ma'am, and we would like to present a certificate of appreciation uh, the, to Dr. Preeti Bajaj, Vice Chancellor, Galgotia University, for dedicated efforts and exemplary work in the field of education. Thank you very much, ma'am, for joining us.
Thank you. Thank you.